Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. If you are just now tuning in, thank you for stopping by. I am doing these weekly check-in, vibe check type readings, just to kind of see what we have coming up for the week for this particular sign. As you can tell, this is going to be for Libra. And if you have not tuned into the past weeks that I've started doing this, I am doing readings for Libra, Cancer, and Taurus. And, you know, it can go for your rising sign, sun sign, rising sign, what else? Moon sign. It can go for all three of those, or just whichever placements you have those signs in. You know, you can move accordingly, but especially for your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. Okay. So before I get started pulling the cards for Libra for the week, I'm just gonna get my I'll say my little things, admin stuff out of the way. You know, if you find that you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe so that you can be tuned in to, you know, when I drop new videos, which new things will be coming soon. What else? You know, like the video as you listen along. Share the video if you think, you know, as you listen along, you find that it's helpful, informative, and it will be beneficial to others, you know, especially if you know that they have any of these sun signs, or these signs that I'm reading for. And leave me a comment down in the comment section. You know, you can leave like a little emoji. You can, you know, let me know how the reading resonates, if it did, and if you feel comfortable doing so, you know, go ahead and share that. You know, I would love to interact with you all, and, you know, start building up this community, because that's what I love to do and what I would like to do. Okay. I think I got all the things out of the way. I have the air turned off because it is pretty cool here where I am. Currently it's like 77 degrees, but it's nighttime, so yeah. And so finally, finally I'm on time with these readings, so they will be up by tomorrow morning, which will be Monday on Labor Day. So yeah, you know, by the time you're watching this, it should have been loaded up and all the things. Okay, so I think I got everything out of the way. Excuse me. If you hear any loud background noises, I do apologize. I do have things off that would potentially cause noise, but you never know. I have my computer up, so, you know, there may be sounds from that. Also, my cousin's dog is, you know, with me, so you may hear him. He does his little grumbles and things of that nature. Or he may bark if he hears something. So, you know, just little things like that. Just be mindful that, you know, if there are loud noises, I will most certainly try to speak over them, or just wait a moment for the sound to pass, and then we'll get started, or we'll pick right back up to where we are. Okay? So, with all that said, now the way, I'm going to get started. And I'm going to pull 3 cards for each, you know, the tarot as well as the oracle portion. So the tarot will be at the top row, the oracle cards will be at the bottom row. These cards have been shuffled already, but as you can see, I kind of like to shuffle it on camera just a little bit sometimes. You know, I just go with what I feel. Excuse me. And, you know, you can do the same thing with these readings. Everything does not have to resonate. You know, maybe some things resonate that come out in the reading. Maybe it all, you know, comes out, you know. And maybe if your sun sign is Libra, you know, it may not resonate, but You may resonate with a different reading. Maybe you have, you know, all of these placements like Cancer and Taurus, and you know, you may be tapping more into your rising sign at the moment, or more into your moon sign, whatever the case may be. Okay, so all that to say, take it as it resonates. Okay, I did kind of switch things up for this video. I'm using the Witch's Tarot deck. All the decks that I use, I always put those in the description box. So yeah, and I'm using for the Oracle portion the Children of the Cosmos Oracle cards. Okay, so all right, Spirit, angels, my guides. I usually say that quietly or in my mind, or sometimes I will say it out loud, but I'm just asking for Spirit to come in and just speak to me through these cards so that I can speak to my Libra babies, my fellow Libra babies. How about that? Because I am a Libra sun. Oop, that wanted to come out. Okay, then we need to get midweek for Libra. Go. And then for the, there we go, for the end, Spirits, it's not wasting no time. Okay. All right, and let's get the Oracle portion here. Ooh. You know, hopefully this is not TMI, but I don't know if this is just, you know, a me thing or what, but some of you, that's coming out for the Oracle. Oh, there's two. Okay, we're gonna rock with that. I'm getting, for some Libras, some of you may be also having some stomach issues, because right now I am having stomach issues. I'm drinking my water, so maybe some of you need to drink water. Some of you could be dehydrated, or maybe you ate something that didn't agree with you. Could be, I don't think this is for every single Libra, of course, but maybe like a handful of you. I'm getting like maybe eating something that didn't agree with you, or maybe you should be cautioned for that. And some of us in the collective here of Libras are dehydrated. Not me though, because I've been drinking my water. So just a friendly little call out, you know, friendly little call out there to drink your water and stay hydrated. I'm also getting something with throat chakra. Hearing someone like singing music that could be important to some of you. Maybe some relaxing music could help you kind of wind down and chill out. This is kind of a chill weekend, I'm sorry, because it is the Labor Day weekend, so a lot of you, you know, maybe getting with family, or if you're not getting with family, you could just be, you know, wanting to be in chill mode, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna turn over these cards here. Excuse me, sorry for that. Okay, so it never fails, and as you can see, I have my water bottle here. It never fails that my nose wants to get kind of stuffy whenever I try to do these readings. And I'm going to, besides this, what may go up, I may do a all signs reading, or a pick-a-pal before I upload this. So just, you know, just look for it either way. All right. Um, so yeah, sorry, I'm looking at something here and just making sure. Okay, I thought I was being called on in my Discord. Anyway, um, well, it's not my Discord; it's my friend's Discord. Anyway, so yeah, let's turn over these cards and see what we're working with here. Okay. Sorry for the sniffles again. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, Libra. Ooh, I'm not gonna be able to show this one card. Let me make sure. I need something to. Well, let me make sure I kind of cover that, because I don't want that on camera or anyone being able to see that. Okay. And I'm just kind of looking over these cards to see what I'm looking at here. So right out the bat, Libras, I feel like some of you, I'm hearing the word gossip. So there may be some gossip, here that kind of transpires. I don't know. I'm really strongly getting gossip for some reason. I'm unsure why, but for the most part, we're gonna keep going. And this could be, because there's a page out here, and it's a page of cups, and usually when I see pages, they're like, to me, that signifies, sorry y'all, it signifies like I just get like the sense of gossip, because it's kind of like that young energy, kind of, I don't want to say that. I don't know. Whenever I see pages, they always just automatically make me think of like someone who talks a lot, gossips a lot. So I'm getting like office gossip, but it could be, it could be something else too. It don't have to be necessarily workplace related, but that's what I'm getting. But we're going to look at all these cards. I'm just trying to make sure I have my stuff how I need it here. Okay, now, so the first card out here, Queen of Cups, right? Just making sure you can see that. Okay, so Queen of Cups, this is all about sort of like tapping into your intuition, kind of, you're more so like in your feelings, if that makes sense. So a lot of Libras this week may be very much into their feelings. Okay, maybe something happens that causes, like, this is what I'm getting. Okay, and I mentioned gossip, and so what I feel like this, it could be like a rumor that was started, or like especially if it's about you personally, you Libras, it could be something that like somebody's like some shit going, or you know what I mean, like some stuff going around like that's not even true. Well, you know what I mean, like it's just BS basically. And so people are putting your name in the mix with something and you don't have anything to, you don't even have anything to do with it. Okay. And so I really just feel like, you know, you're deep in emotion, and also the Queen of Cups is like really focused on this cup, you know. So I just really feel like there's like deep contemplation. You know, you're trying to figure out, like, you know, I get the sense of like trying to figure out if there was something that you inadvertently did that could have caused, you know, could have caused something, like something that some of your actions, or maybe you moved funny or whatever the case. It's kind of causing you to like sort of second guess yourself, and I think that's a little unwarranted, because I feel like whatever this gossip is, it has absolutely nothing to do with you, and it's just someone that's hating. Okay, so that could be kind of like at the start of the week, you're sort of like really focused on what it is, you know, you're doing, but you're deep in thought is what I get. But there's also like a sense of maturity, a sense of not sort of like flying off the handle, and Libras are pretty known for that, like known for being diplomatic, known for, you know, being considerate, and, you know, not allowing what people say to really rub them the wrong way or get to them. But I think in this case, though, because cups are out, because we have the Queen of Cups out, and at the end of the week we have Page of Cups, and that's where I get kind of like that gossipy sort of energy from. I think, but whatever this is that comes out, or, you know, happens, I feel like it's more so like it kind of rubs you the wrong way, and it kind of makes you kind of second guess yourself, and it kind of makes you feel vulnerable, because, okay, so I'm not going to show this card, or at least I'm going to kind of cover it up with my thumb if I can. There we go. We have the Three of Pentacles, right? Three of Pentacles, and I can't show this other figure over here. Let's turn it over. You can't see that. But anyway, on the picture on the card, it shows a lady figure exposed, and two of the, yeah, there's like an instructor or kind of authority figure standing over the person or the student recreating the artwork of this lady figure. So if you've ever seen, like in the movies and different things, you'll see, like, you know, they're painting someone who's nude, okay? And so to me, and kind of going with the storyline that I'm picking up on, you could be, whatever this gossip is that's kind of that kind of causes you to be in your feelings, Libras, it kind of makes you feel like exposed. It makes you feel like a magnifying glass is kind of on you, if that makes sense. And so you're like, you're feeling kind of sensitive, because with cups, you know, that's water energy. So and you could be dealing with water signs and earth signs with the pentacles, or you could just be, you could have those placements, right? You could have water and earth in your placements. But I just really get the sense of, especially like midweek, you know, it could be still kind of fresh, whatever this is, because you don't have the Page of Cups until later, or to the end of the week. But I'm getting this, I heard the word clearly in my mind, gossip. Somebody gossiping for whatever reason. But I just really feel like, you know, you're not going to allow it to continue to get at you, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like left field. It's coming out of nowhere, and I feel like something similar kind of happened or came out in the previous readings. I feel like it even could have been Queen of Cups somewhere, I'm not sure, but that came out. But even though the Queen of Cups card is not reverse. Um, be mindful of people trying to like manipulate you, Libras, especially when it comes to your emotions. Because like when the Queen of Cups is reversed, right? It can kind of point to manipulation, especially in the form of like emotional manipulation, and being overwhelmed by your emotions or overcome by your emotions and allowing that to move you instead of really thinking clearly on how to move in certain situations. So again, even though the Queen of Cups is not in reverse, right? Because I don't really do reverses. But I feel like in this sense, just be kind of mindful of, if you are aware of who this person is, kind of trying to get stuff started, just kind of overlook them. Don't allow their, negativity, their gossip to sort of deter you or put you in a vulnerable place. Okay? So, again, going back to the Three of Pentacles, I also get the sense of if this is work related, if you're dealing with something at work, you could feel like yeah, you could feel like you're being watched. You can feel like you're being put under like a fine or like a magnifying glass, and like every single little thing that you do is being watched. And you could even feel like, because when I look at this Three of Pentacles card, right, and again, I don't want to show, sorry, I don't want to show it. You could be getting critiqued on something, and you may feel a little sensitive about that as well. But just take, especially if it's constructive criticism, take it as it resonates, take it as, a means of improving, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that you're not doing your best or that you're falling short. What it is to say is that, your boss or whoever it is could be just, saying these things that kind of help you grow because they see your potential. You know what I mean? And so, you don't have to fall under the guise of like, obviously there's something wrong with me, or, there's something's going wrong. This could be in an effort to, build you up, make you better. It could be a thing where, maybe something you did or maybe something someone else did and you're not noticing it in your work, especially because with threes, this is all about like teamwork, collaboration, coming together, you know sort of like effort. That's what I'm hearing that word. It's like, yeah, you're coming together to build something new, to implement something. And even though on the card right now it's like displaying something or displaying artwork in a way, like someone's creating art. So this is a lot to do with like creating. So you could be creating with something in collaboration with others. And so you may feel, something may happen where you feel like, you're not good enough. I get the sense of that as well. Feeling like you're feeling like you're very like, you're feeling a little insecure, a little bit afraid to shine too, and afraid of afraid of criticism. And it's just like, you don't have to be afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? Because your effort, your hard work will pay off. You know what I'm saying? And Libras are some of the most creative signs. They put, a lot of effort into their aesthetics as well as the aesthetics around them. So it's only natural that that will, you know, show in their work, especially if it's something, um, especially if it's like creative work too, you know. So I wouldn't, I'm saying what I wouldn't do, but you know, again, I'm not in every single fellow Libra's shoes, you know. But when it comes to, you know, this type of thing, and I can be, again, Libras are like smack dab in between um, um, Virgos as well as Scorpios. And so Virgos, you know, we can kind of take on that sort of over analyzation of things, and um, thinking that we're, you know, we need to do even, you know, we need to go even harder, we need to do even more. With Scorpio, you know, they can become obsessed with things that they are passionate about, you know, um, especially when because they want to do good work, and sorry, they want to do good work, and so it can get to a point where they become overly obsessed. And so because, you know, because Libras are like right in the middle of that, it's kind of like you can kind of take on those certain traits, especially if you have, you know, those types of placements in within your birth charts. So again, I just feel like with the Queen of Cups, I really get the sense of being so in your head and so self-conscious about what it is that you're putting out. You could also, again, I feel strongly, and going back to the gossip thing, you could be feeling like, you know, people are talking about you. People are, you know, especially like negatively. But it could even be that, you know, if this is some kind of gossip, it could even be that, you know, they're not even talking about you in a bad way, right? They could be singing your praises. You just never know. But, you know, but again, I really get the sense of just kind of feeling vulnerable and self-conscious, and, you know, feeling like, you know, you want to do your best work. You want to put your best foot forward. And it's just like, you know, not wanting to make the wrong move with certain things. But again, I feel like don't put more effort and more stock into what it is you're trying to create, what it is, you know, is actually being said, as opposed to what you think might be being said. Because I think this is also because Libras, you know, we're very like, we're air signs, so Libras can be very into their, like, in their heads, and we can kind of run with certain scenarios, and those, you know, they're not built in reality. And so, you know, we have to kind of, that aloofness can kind of come into play, and daydreaming, and creating like these whole scenarios in our heads that are not based in reality, you know. But I think with Libras, we do have the ability to sort of see through things, and we have to kind of mull over things and make sure, you know, that we're catching everything, which Libras do. Libras catch everything. We may not be vocal about it, but we catch every single thing. So that's why a lot of times Libras will take a pause and kind of analyze and mull over things, just to kind of make sure that we are seeing what it is we think we're seeing. Okay? So, excuse me. With that being said, you know, trusting your intuition, okay? Especially with the Page of Cups, this is also kind of like childlike wonder too. Emotional, you know, being creative. This is also like being creative as well. But also, again, I still get like the sense of someone like kind of running their mouth, and it could be for good or for bad. But I don't think this is someone that could be like a water sign that's doing this, that you work with or that you interact with on a daily basis in some way, shape, or form. And this could even be like maybe someone is because because I'm seeing someone like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm seeing with this Page of Cups. I'm sorry. I see someone on the phone talking Libras up for a potential job. Okay, so this could be, maybe this is a friend of yours, especially if you've been like applying to a lot of jobs, trying to find new work, or, could be that you are, applying for a job within the company that you already work for, and one of your references is someone that you used to work with or you still work with, and they're putting in a good word for you. Okay, so I do get that. So that could be an example of someone speaking highly of you, and in a way it can kind of feel like a little gossipy, but because I get the sense of this person, like a person like really talking. And I know I mentioned like Virgo and Scorpio, because Libras are sort of like in the middle of them, but maybe this person could also have some Virgo placements. Virgo or either Gemini, and they are sort of singing your praises. So I don't necessarily get just a negative type vibe from the Page of Cups, but I do get a sense of like someone talking a lot with this Page of Cups. This could also be like could be like an emphasis on writing, collaborating again. Maybe there's some report writing, especially like collaboration. Maybe you have to work with others to complete a report of some sort. Excuse me, that's what I'm getting as far as that. So yeah, all in all, I don't know why career and jobs seem to. I may do a pick a pile on career or jobs specifically, just to kind of see what's going on, because it keeps sort of like coming out in these readings. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm getting for the week as far as the tarot. So let's get to the oracle portion. Okay, so now we have two cards came out for the beginning of the week as far as like the oracle is concerned. Okay, so then we have Lumeria is rising, returning to our origin, heaven on earth. Okay, it's a really pretty card. I love the colors. And then we have letting go, and it says, how can you fly if you aren't willing to give up everything that is weighing you down? Okay, so with these two cards, I think you need to let go of your stage fright, Libras. Some of you may have stage fright, or feel like you because of who you are, because of your experience, there could be someone who's more seasoned than you are that you're having to work with. This could be your boss. This could be your coworker. If it's job related, and you may feel inadequate, and that's not the case. Obviously, you're very adequate. You're very qualified. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the job. Okay. Also, you can trust in your abilities. Okay. Don't be afraid to showcase who you are, what you're about. Again, you got the job, or you're getting ready to get the job. So, you have the qualifications. Okay. So you don't have to feel like inferior, or like, you're going to mess up or make a misstep. You're not going to do that. So just keep trucking, keep moving, let go of the feeling like insecure and, self-conscious about things. You got it. You got this. Okay. Sorry, my ear was itching. All right. So, okay. I'm just making sure I don't feel anything or get anything else from these two cards here. So with this letting go card, the term weighing you down is kind of sticking out to me. Yeah, if something is weighing you down, definitely, let me turn this to you down. If something is weighing you down, let go whatever is sort of weighing you down. If it's even, you know, emotions, you know, if it's some kind of burdensome task, you know, try to delegate or get help with it or let it go. What else? If it's overbearing people in your life, let them go as well. Okay? Don't. This is a season, Libras, of letting ish go. Taking a step back and resting. You know, you rest, you know, give yourself time and space to be like, you know what, if it's not bringing peace to my life, if it's not, you know, getting my, you know, making me paper, if it's not, you know, all, you know, the rest, all the things, if it's not serving you, you gotta let it go. Okay. So next we have transcending duality, and it says we are transcending duality and merging into oneness. Love this card as well. Yeah, I get this. Okay, so Libras, I get the sense by midweek, and once you get, you know, well into whatever it is you're working on, whether it be at work, whether it be personal projects, whatever you felt as far as being self-conscious, that's gonna totally fall by the wayside. Okay, like you're going to get out of that, because you're transcending duality. You're transcending, you know, on one hand feeling like I'm not good enough, and on the other hand you're like, hell no, I got this, you know. And so you're merging that into, you know, one, you know, where you feel sort of inadequate, where you feel like, okay, I need to work on, you know, I need to work on such and such or whatever, or, you know, if you are getting some kind of feedback or, you know, critique or whatever, constructive critiquing, merging that together, and you're like, okay, I have an idea of what I could do better, and I'm going to do better. Okay. All right. So lastly, we have the Rise Above It card. Choose to vibrate higher. Really cool card. I love all these cards. I love this deck so much. Okay. So, short and sweet and to the point. Rise above it. If, in fact, for a few Libras, because I only get this for a few Libras, if someone is trying to bring you down, right? If there is some, you know, negative gossip surrounding or involving you, rise above it. Don't address it as far as, you know, trying to go tit for tat. Do it in a way where, you know, it's tactful. You know, you're graceful. You know, don't allow anybody to knock you or bring you down to their level, if that makes sense. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to end it here. Libra, I hope this was, you know, resonating and easy to follow. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much or I was all over the place. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if it resonated. Let me know how it resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing. If not, just leave a cute little emoji and let me know that you enjoyed the reading. Subscribe. I have more videos coming. What else? Like the video, share the video, do all the things. Okay, I will see you next week. or the next time that I drop a video, okay, which will be soon. Like literally probably will do it tonight. I might do a couple of videos tonight since I have peace and quiet here. So yeah. All right, so I will again see you next time. Bye.